Greek Glossonauts.
Hello, hello.
Hello, γεια σου.
Γεια σου, γεια σου. Είμαι φίλος Zoa και Zoa, or as well. Πώς λένε as well?
Επίσης.
Επίσης. Ναι, φυσικά, επίσης.
Είμαι φιλόζωος επίσης.
Ναι. Και αγαπώ τα ζώα πολύ.
Cliff, σε ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ που είσαι εδώ.
Ναι, ευχαριστώ. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Νομίζω ότι έχεις μια πολύ ωραία ιστορία να μας πεις. You have a very interesting story to tell.
Yeah, I guess. Now, did you realize I did some volunteer work στην Ελλάδα,
Of course, και στην Ελλάδα, βέβαια. So first of all, do you want to say a few things about yourself? You can either talk in Greek or English or mix, whatever.
It'll definitely be a mix.
Okay.
Με λένε Cliff. Είμαι κτηνίατρος. So my name is Cliff and I'm a veterinarian. Πριν από 26 χρόνια, 26 years I've been a veterinarian. Είμαι 50 χρονών. I'm 50 years old. So more than half of my life I've been doing this, at least formally. And I love it. How would I say? Την αγαπώ την δουλειά μου. I love my work. Ναι.
Και δεν είσαι μόνος. You're not alone.
What do you mean?
In your job, you're not alone.
Meaning what? Like I have other veterinarians, or when I travel?
Not only veterinarians, you have your own daughter.
Yes. So,
η κόρη σου.
Στην ταξίδι, when I travel, usually, συνήθως την κόρη μου, αυτή είναι μαζί μου. She comes with me. As you can see, my Greek is ugly. It's ugly.
Oh, you're very good. Come on. Πολύ ωραία.
Μαθαίνω. I'm sure everyone will agree. Η γραμματική είναι πολύ δύσκολη. The grammar is very difficult.
Come on, man. Come on. You're doing so extremely difficult things all over the world, and you say that Greek grammar is difficult. Come on, I cannot accept this.
It's so difficult. I've been learning for, μαθαίνω τα ελληνικά μου για 7 χρόνια. So I've been learning for 7 years. I never thought it would take me this long. I would have thought after 7 years I was fluent, but it's not even close. I have a lesson every single week online with a professional teacher, and then he gives me homework, and I study almost every single morning, probably 6 mornings a week for an hour by myself. Yeah. But it's getting there. Η γυναίκα μου είναι από την Ελλάδα. My wife is from Greece. Την λένε Βασιλική Τσουτσουμπρί.
Από ποιο μέρος? Από ποιο μέρος της Ελλάδας? Από ποια πόλη?
Την Αθήνα. Την Αθήνα, και η πατέρα της είναι από το χωριό, μικρό χωριό στο βουνό, up in the mountains. Το λένε Ίσαρη. So his name is κοντά Τρίπολη, κοντά Μεγαλόπολη. Πολύ ωραία στο χωριό, Πολύ ωραία.
Τέλεια. Και εγώ τώρα είμαι στο χωριό. Και εγώ τώρα είμαι στο χωριό.
Ναι, στην φύση.
Στη φύση, ναι.
Είμαι στο πόλη, in the city, αλλά in this part of Toronto, it's called Scarborough. Έχουμε μεγάλο κήπο. We have a big garden or backyard. Είμαστε πολύ τυχοί. We're very lucky.
Είστε πολύ τυχεροί. Ναι. Έχεις...
Τυχεροί. Τι είναι τύχη?
Τύχη, luck.
Yeah, luck versus lucky. Yeah,
Τύχη,
tiheri.
luck. Τυχερός, τυχερή, τυχερό is the adjective. Yeah, lucky.
Yeah. So
Ε,
yeah, I've been volunteering and traveling for about 8 years. We started in Jamaica, and then went to Greece. And Greece was generally a vacation for me to meet my, at the time, girlfriend's family. She later became my wife. But when I was there, I volunteered in Athens with a cat rescue called 9 Lives Cat Rescue of Athens, vaccinating and treating some of the cats that were living in the streets. And as happens every summer, Kate Kalokeri Stimulada, there was some wildfires. Poslene. Agria Fotia?
Φωτιά. Φωτιά.
Yeah, there's some wildfires. And there was one in a small community called Neobustas, I think you call it. And it wiped out the community, killed a lot of people, unfortunately. And so afterwards, after it was safe, we went in, after all the people were rescued, we went in and rescued some animals and goats and chickens and what have you. So it ended up being an impromptu volunteer trip as well. Plus, I did a little bit of volunteer work on the island of Peros a couple years later. And then we've been to India twice, Panama, Egypt, Ukraine during the war twice, and I just came back from northern Canada, way north, near the Arctic Circle. So far north that the Northern Lights, πώς λένε, νότια βορειά.
Λέμε το Βόρειο Σέλλας. Το Βόρειο Σέλλας.
Yeah, the Northern Lights were south of us. That's how north we were. We were more north than this. So they had no veterinarian up there, so we went up there when there's only 3 hours of sunlight. Το ήλιο, μόνο 3 ώρες.
3 ώρες ήλιος.
3 ώρες,
oh my God, depressing.
Στο χειμώνα 3 ώρες.
Oh, Θεέ μου.
Και στο καλοκαίρι 20 ώρες.
Θεέ μου.
I know, eh?
Ακραίο. Extreme, ακραίο.
Yeah. And κάνει πολύ κρύο. Yeah, it was στην βράδυ at night ήταν περίπου πώς λένε 40 κάτω από 0.
40 κάτω από το 0.
Ναι, 40 degrees below 0 Celsius for those Americans that are thinking Fahrenheit. So it's even lower than that. Fahrenheit. It was 40 degrees below freezing. So I lost some of my. No, I got all my fingers. I'm lucky. None of them froze. But it was amazing. Yeah.
So from the extreme heat to the extreme cold and back again.
Yes, that's right.
And also you have your own animal clinic, animal hospital in Toronto, right?
Yeah, it's near Toronto, just to the north, in the city called Markham, right beside. So like a neighbor, Yetoni. It's called Wellington Animal Hospital, and I've owned it 24 years. So I got it almost right out of school. I bought it, and I love it. It's what allows me to go on these trips because I'm my own boss. So my business pays for these trips. And it means I got to work a little bit longer. I'm not going to retire as quickly, but I like what I do.
Cliff, στο νοσοκομείο σου, με τα ζώα που έχεις σκύλους, γάτες, τι άλλα ζωάκια?
Στην κλινική μου, at my clinic, μόνο γάτες και σκυλιά.
Ζώα συντροφιάς, as we say in Greek, ζώα συντροφιάς, company animals.
Yeah, exactly. We call it companion animal. But yeah, μία μέρα κάθε εβδομάδα, for one day every week. Δουλεύω για χωρίς χρήματα, πώς λένε.
Χωρίς χρήματα. Δουλεύω χωρίς χρήματα.
No, but δουλεύω, πώς λένε, volunteer.
Εθελοντικά.
Εθελοντικά στην an animal rescue, a wildlife rescue. Yeah. 1 day a week I do that. I've been doing that for about 6 years. And I do deer and
Ελάφι.
porcupines.
Σκατζόχυρος.
Raccoons.
Raccoon.
Wolf and coyote, foxes.
Λύκοι, κογιότ, αλεπούδες. Okay.
Little tiny micro bats.
Νυχτερίδες, bats.
Yeah. They're like
You
they're
have
like
bats
mice.
in Canada.
They're like little mice. Squirrels. And even once I did surgery on a giant bullfrog.
Oh, okay.
With a broken leg. Yeah.
Bullfrog.
Yeah.
Frog.
So, and that's how I got into wildlife. Before that, I did not know how to take care of wildlife. But they didn't have a veterinarian, and they said, "Can you learn? And can you try?" And I would do surgeries on animals that had already died to practice. And I hope that doesn't upset anybody, like makes them sad. That's how we learn. And now now it's easy. Like I've gotten good at it. So I've been able to take my skills around the world and do the monkeys and the crocodiles and a little bit of everything. So I love it.
Let me tell you this. Do you know how do we call a veterinarian in Greek? What is the name of the profession?
And it means beast doctor.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a compound word. We have ktinos, which in ancient Greek is the beast, the wild animal, and iatros. Let me spell that for those of you that listen to us. So it is kappa, taf, eta, ni, iota, alpha, taf, rho, omicron, sigma. Ktiniatros. So you are literally do what the name of the Greek word means. So you treat all animals from wild ones to companion ones. This is impressive. What you do is impressive.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I have a little bit of Greek heritage in me, so I think my Thessaloniki blood is helping me learn from the original Greek masters of medicine. That's what I think.
So let's jump into this your heritage. You have some of your ancestors were Greek.
Yeah, on my father's side, his grandmother and grandfather on his mother's side. So my grandmother's mother and my grandmother's father were from Thessaloniki.
Τι ωραία.
Yeah, and then the rest are all British, essentially. But yeah, I've got some Greek heritage, and if I shaved the beard, you would see my very Greek / Macedonian type of cleft chin that I have. That is not a British thing. This beard is not British. I can grow a beard nicely because of my Greek heritage. So yeah. Whereas my brother looks very British. My brother is tall and light-colored hair and slimmer.
Greek,
but I like my Greek.
The Greek genes prevailed in your case.
Yeah, and I mean my daughter, her mother, my ex-wife, is German mostly, and so my daughter's only got a tiniest bit of Greek in her. But I've had people who don't know me, clients, look at a photo of her when she's 4 or 5 years old and say, "Where from Greece are you from?" Like they know just from looking at her when she was a child that was a child with Greek heritage. So,
okay. So let me ask you this. This is not something that you hide, right? I mean, you are and that is why we met each other. I mean, you are very proud of your heritage and you're learning. Μαθαίνεις ελληνικά και ξέρεις ελληνικά.
Yeah, I am learning, and I do it for my wife. I like to understand, what she's saying. And η οικογένεια της είναι όλοι είναι από την Ελλάδα, από την Αθήνα. Ο μπαμπά της, αλλά πέθανε. He died a year ago. But η μητέρα της δεν μιλάνε αγγλικά. They don't speak any English. But her brother, her sister speak, etsy English. Better than I speak Greek. but we plan to στο μέλλον in the future.
Ναι,
And
στο
στο
μέλλον.
μέλλον, όταν δεν έχουμε δουλειά, when we don't have work anymore, πώς λένε retire.
Σύνταξη. Όταν βγούμε στη σύνταξη is the expression. When we get in the retirement. Όταν βγούμε στη σύνταξη.
Όταν βγούμε στη σύνταξη, can't say it.
Σύνταξη.
We plan to live half a year in Greece and half a year in Canada. So I got to learn. I want to learn. It's good. I like it.
Η κόρη σου μιλάει ελληνικά ή όχι?
Όχι. Η κόρη μου μιλάει λίγο γαλλικά, French. Γιατί στο Καναδά μερικές ανθρωπές μιλάνε γαλλικά.
Βέβαια, το
Some
ξέρω.
of the people in Canada speak French.
Ειδικά στο Quebec. Ειδικά στο Quebec.
Ναι. Because of Quebec and we also στο σχολείο.
Κάνετε δύο γλώσσες.
Yeah, we all learn that as a second language. I stopped in grade 9. Like I stopped as soon as possible. I was into science and math and not language. And I wish I had kept it up. I now appreciate, 50 years old, been doing this 7 years. I now appreciate the value of learning another language. It sounds weird, but I can feel my brain like becoming more flexible and becoming healthier when I'm learning a new language. It's very difficult and I get frustrated sometimes. But I think it's helping me. It's like working out a muscle or your heart. I got to work your brain and this is a way that I do it and I highly recommend it. And of course, η γυναίκα μου μιλάει πολλές ξένες γλώσσες. Γαλλικά, ελληνικά, of course, φυσικά, αγγλικά και λίγο ισπανικά και λίγο ρωσικά.
Ρωσικά, okay.
Yeah. Like for her, it's easy. Είναι πολύ εύκολη.
Tell us what it means to live with a Greek wife in your house. Be careful. This live will be uploaded, so you have to be very careful what you're going to say.
No. That's fine. She's cool. It's amazing. I mean, I didn't know any true Greeks before meeting her, and the Greek women are very honest, and we would sometimes call it blunt. Or even jokingly insensitive. Like they'll tell you flat out what they mean. They don't hide their words at all. They're very clear. So like the first time we got in an argument, I thought we were breaking up because I had never heard anybody get so passionate about something. And in the British side of me, because I was raised, in that sort of very polite, quiet, almost, just not as open. But now I prefer it. It's amazing. I mean, there's the obvious things. The food is amazing. I mean, fakez and.
A question from the audience is that if your wife is cooking Greek food, τι φαγητό μαγειρεύει ελληνικό?
Ναι, and το αγαπημένο φαγητό μου είναι φακές.
Φακές! Και εμένα μου αρέσουν πάρα πολύ.
Μπορώ να φάω κάθε μέρα. I could eat it every day. It is the best. Φακές και I mean, she does everything. Χωριατική, like proper Greek salad. And baking and then στην Χριστουγένεια κοραμπιέδες. Πολύ ωραία. We call them cocaine cookies because they got the white powder and they're so addictive.
Μελομακάρονα? Μελομακάρονα?
Ναι, αλλά δεν μου αρέσει πολύ. Πολύ, έτσι και έτσι. Baklava, μου αρέσει baklava πολύ.
Baklavas.
Αλλά κουρεπιέδες είναι το αγαπημένο γλυκό μου.
Okay.
Το αγαπημένο μου γλυκό.
Yeah.
It's absolutely my favorite dessert.
So you have a wonderful wife. Someone comments.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. She's strong physically in the heart, you know, mentally.
Έρχεται μαζί σου στα ταξίδια σου. Έρχεται μαζί στο ταξίδι.
Όχι, μόνο στην Ελλάδα.
Στην Ελλάδα,
Μόνο
okay.
στην Ελλάδα. When I go on these trips, είναι πολύ δουλεύει. Δουλεύουμε πολύ. And where we go is not really, it's not always a touristy place. Like στην India, είναι μέσα. It's right in the middle. There's nothing there.
Frikara. I freaked out when I saw what you did in India. Frikara.
Yeah. It's on the movie.
Yeah, I saw you going inside a well to rescue a dog deep inside a well and rescuing a monkey that was like eating herself somehow.
Yeah. So for the people watching, we film all these things because I was trying to get a TV show going. So we would use this footage on all these trips to go to TV companies and say, hey, let's make a TV show about a veterinarian and his daughter traveling around the world. And when that didn't happen, it didn't work, although everyone seemed to like the idea, we went to India again a year and a half ago.
What is the name of the movie? So people ask, I will interrupt you. What is the name of the movie?
Yeah, and just so they know, it's not available yet. I sent you, my friend, a very special secret link to watch it.
Okay.
I did send it to you, right?
Yeah.
But we are in negotiations with some streaming services internationally to show it. It's called Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. It's won awards in film festivals. For the people who are in Toronto or in the Toronto area in Canada, there are a couple of film festivals coming up that it's probably going to be in. So I just ask everyone, follow me on Instagram and there'll be lots of news. And we are now, when we did this movie, we make this movie and it does really well in film festivals. All of a sudden, a couple of TV companies are now knocking on our door saying, hey, maybe we do want to do a TV show. So fingers crossed. I know you guys don't do that in Greece, as good luck, but fingers crossed. There ends up being some sort of Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet TV show, which would be fun.
Do you know what we did in Greece? Instead of fingers crossed, we say χτύπα ξύλο, and we knock a door, we knock a wooden thing that we have closest to
ξύλo. Yeah, hit wood. Χτύπα ξύλο. Yeah, we do that. Knock on wood. χτύπα ξύλο. Yeah, we do the same. Well, I'll take it all. I got the Greek eye.
Yeah,
you know,
both. Yeah, combined.
Yeah.
We have some very good friends here in my town that work. They work in media. I saw they joined Xanthi Nea.gr. So it is your job is very important, and let me share this with you. And I want to be completely honest here. In Greece, we have a huge problem with stray dogs and stray cats, and in general animals that they are outside. And they don't have someone to take care of them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, you know, they take care of those animals. Like I do this all the time. I mean, you know, I like to take care of stray dogs and stray cats, and all my animals were former stray dogs or stray cats. So I don't have a pedigree, let's say, dog, for example. I adopt a dog from a rescue house. But in Greece, we have a huge problem with this thing. And I think in Canada, you have solved these issues.
The cold has solved the issues. That's the reality. If you have if you're a homeless dog in Canada, you're not surviving the winter. That's too cold.
It's
so then therefore there's, you know, everyone is getting their animals fixed and they're all pets, right? There's some cats maybe in the cities, but yeah, it's nothing like Greece.
so I think that this is very good. You promote in general this well-being and take care and loving this affection towards animals. And this is something that I really appreciate. This is something that attracted me from the very first time when I saw your page and what you're doing. But I think that a lot of work needs to be done.
Yeah.
So please, I think you can contribute in this. I mean, in Greece, in specific, more specifically.
Yeah, and every time I go back, I volunteer with this cat rescue. You know, when I do retire, which, I mean, I'm going to start working less in the next 10 years when I'm 60, but I'll never fully retire. As long as my brain works and my hands work, I'm going to keep doing it a little bit. So I fully expect when I'm living in Greece for 6 months of the year, I already have a few veterinarian clinics that are like, yeah, we'll hire you for a day or two. And I've got some rescues and, you know, we'll go up to an island and I'll vacation and work a little bit, like volunteer. I'll follow the waves. I like to surf. So I understand there's surfing in Ikari. And a little bit in Peloponnese area. There's some surfing. I've done surfing there in Greece. So that's a big thing. But yeah, I'll be volunteering in Greece for sure. And if we ever get a TV show, we're coming back to Greece.
I don't know if in your media in Canada you had, when I was younger, I remember there were some TV shows like, there was Dr. Harry, an Australian vet that had a show and rescuing animals, or I don't know if this was popular in Canada. Do you have shows that
yeah, I don't know that one. There's plenty. Like in now all the Canadian shows on Canadian TV are usually from the US. So there's like The Incredible Dr. Paul and Yukon Vet, which although it's Yukon Canada, it's an American company that makes it. Dr. Jeff, Rocky Mountain Vet. So there's quite a few, but none of them are traveling. And our concept, just out of interest for your people listening, is that it's as much about the traveling and learning about the cultures and learning about the food and the challenges that they face and being able to work with rescuers in that city or in that country. So it'd be as much an adventure travel show as an animal rescue show, but because I love to travel and I love to try new things and climb down the wells and try and rescue that dog and whatever is needed.
You're a commando στα ελληνικά.
Λίγο τρέλος.
Είσαι λίγο τρελός. So if you have any, guys, for those of you that you're watching us live, if you have any questions for our Kyniatros, please, this is the time to do it, because I don't want to take all of Cliff's time. Today it's Sunday, it's a resting day for everyone. So please, if you have any questions, you can do this. And we are going to jump into the last phase of this live, which I say a word in Greek, and you say the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear this word.
Okay, I have to answer in Greek?
Whatever you want.
All right.
The one that's most spontaneous for you, it's okay.
Okay.
Guys, if you have any questions, I'm watching them, and the nice questions I'm gonna ask our vet here. So if you want to ask anything, of course, we're going to share with you all the channels, how can you find Cliff and his work. We are going to share this again, and also you will find this, we will upload this after we finish this live. Okay. Don Paco says, how many Greeks are living in Toronto? Πόσοι Έλληνες υπάρχουν στο Toronto?
Ναι, δεν ξέρω ακριβώς, αλλά στο Toronto είναι ο μέρος το λένε Greek Town. So there's a place in Toronto called Greek Town along the Danforth. And not only is there a lot of Greek restaurants and cafes, of course, but businesses are owned by Greek, and a lot of the street signs are in Greek as well as English, and like large Greek signs with little tiny English signs. So in Toronto and the Toronto area, there's 10 million people. I have no idea how many Greeks. I mean, if someone told me 100,000, I would say okay. If someone told me 20,000, I'd say okay. Like I don't know, but it's enough. There's Greek churches all throughout the area. There's special Greek language schools, because there'd be a lot of people like, my wife married, her first husband is Greek, although he was born here, he is Greek. And his parents are fully, like, almost only speaking Greek.
Mm-hmm.
So their son grew up when he was 5 years old and went to kindergarten. He didn't speak English. So there are some strong Greek connections in this city, but I don't know how many people exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Guys, the Instagram, he will share it with us also. It is Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. Okay, we will share this again. Let's jump in.
Just click on the
Yeah.
I think they just click on the thing about, yeah.
You can find on the chat. Λοιπόν, ξεκινάμε.
Sure.
Πάμε. Οικογένεια.
Οικογένεια. Σας αγαπάω.
Φίλος.
Η γυναίκα μου. That'd be φιλή, but yeah.
Okay. Φαγητό.
Φακές.
I should have guessed that before. Ελλάδα.
Πολύ ωραία και ζέστη.
Αγάπη.
Αγάπη, η οικογένεια μου.
And the last thing, μεράκι.
Μεράκι. Τι σημαίνει μεράκι?
Meraki. Okay, that was the question I want you to ask. So in Greek we have this word which is called meraki, and many people say that it is a word that you cannot easily translate into English or other languages. So what it really means is when you do something with passion and you put a little bit of yourself in everything that you do. In general, is when you do something with love, even if it is a detail, a very small detail. I will give you an example. Πίνεις καφέ? Σου αρέσει ο καφές?
Ναι, πολύ.
Στην Ελλάδα πίνουμε ελληνικό καφέ. With briki, we make our coffee with briki. It is very simple to do. I mean, you have your briki, you put water, coffee, sugar, you stir. But if you do this with meraki, you pay attention in every single detail of this simple process. Even when you pour the coffee, when you finish it, you pour it into the flisdanaki, you do it with love and passion.
Ναι.
So this is meraki.
Ναι, κατάλαβα. Μεράκι, όλα τα ζώα μου. Μεράκι.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
I meant all my life, so that's not right. Η ζωής μου. Ναι.
Κάνεις τη δουλειά σου με μεράκι και αυτό φαίνεται. This is very obvious.
Ναι. Yeah, I love being a veterinarian. I love owning my clinic. I love traveling. I love helping. It's stressful. I love it all. I'm very lucky. My life is very, very good. I'm very blessed. Yeah.
I think that the animals cannot explicitly say thank you, but somehow you receive this, and this is, I mean, all the dog, cat, or animal owners know that, but from your perspective as well as a doctor, you take care of these animals, you feel this energy coming back to you, and that's why you give and you take.
Yeah. Έχω μία αστεία ιστορία. I have a funny little story about the love of an animal.
Please.
We had a bald eagle come into the wildlife place. The big giant eagles that are American, but they're in Canada as well. And he had a broken wing, the humerus bone right there, really, really bad. So I pinned it and fixed it and whatnot. And all these videos you got to really swipe down, but it's on my Instagram there. And we ended up naming her Wolf because she was nasty, which is what you want. They're wild animals. And when it came time for me to release her back into the wild, which is my favorite part, I wanted to get my hands on her one more time. I just wanted to examine her. I'd never been so close to a bald eagle, and it was so hard getting her back to health. And as I was examining her, I wasn't paying attention, and my hand got too close to her beak, and so she bit me. And she could have taken my finger off. I have no doubt. They're strong enough to snap your finger right off.
Wow.
And all she did was just give me just a little bite. And I think she was doing that, one, to teach me a lesson, but to not hurt me, she was saying, thank you for making me better. Don't come close to me again. If it was anyone else, I would have bitten their hand. I would have taken their finger off. But for you helped me get better. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a friendly reminder. And then we let her go, and off she flew, and it was the most beautiful thing. But yeah, I do think they recognize. I believe it. And these injured animals seem to find me. Like, there was one time when I was in Poland, right at the border of Poland and Ukraine. I was hiking with another veterinarian, κάναμε περπατία, is that right?
Ναι, περπατούσαμε, we were walking, περπατούσαμε.
We were hiking, and 1,000,000 to 1 chance, we came across a deer out in the forest, out in a field, who had gotten this rope fence wrapped around its antlers.
Wow.
And it had been kicking and fighting, and there were vultures overhead waiting for this deer to die, and they will die just from stress. And like, what are the chances that these two veterinarians happen to find this deer? And so we ended up going and tackling it and, unwrapping it and releasing it. So these animals seem to find us. It's like they know that ime philozoas. Philozoas, yeah, I think so.
Wow. Συγχαρητήρια. Είναι πολύ συγκινητικό. Είναι πολύ συγκινητικό αυτό που λες. Thanks for sharing these stories. And I think you can feel also our positive energy from here. We sent it directly from the mountains of Rhodope straight into Canada to support your work. I want you to know that we are always here to do, I don't know how to promote your work or to work with, I don't know, with ideas, because we are crazy too, you are crazy too, so this is a good combo.
Works well.
So please, can you say also how can we find you on social media, whatever, for the people that just joined?
I pretty much only use Instagram now, so it's Dr. Cliff Worldwide Vet. Look for the one with the little blue check mark to know that it's me. There is a YouTube channel, youtube.com/drcliff, but I haven't posted on that in a long time, but some of the old videos are there. But they're all on my Instagram. And that's the easiest way. That's the easiest way to follow me. Send me messages. I will answer them. If you guys have problems with your animals and you need advice, please send them. I am happy to answer them. If I don't, send me another one. It just means I missed it. I'm not ignoring you. And stay tuned. I'm hoping that there'll be big things in plan for us and media and TV and movies and who knows. But regardless, I'll always be doing this. I'll always be volunteering and traveling and sharing my love for animals. So it's a pleasure being here.
So for those of you that you missed this live, we will upload this. We will also tag you, Cliff, so that will be on our accounts. For those of you that you are listening to this, Cliff said his Instagram. You will find also in the YouTube. It's very easy. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ που ήσουν μαζί μας.
Ευχαριστώ. Ο καινούριο φίλο μου.
Για τον καινούριο φίλο. And now I know that if I have an issue with Nemo or my dogs, I will address first at you.
Πού μένεις?
Εγώ μένω στην Xanthi. Xanthi is about 2 hours from Thessaloniki to heading towards north.
Okay.
When,
Okay. So one day
when in
we will
Thessaloniki,
meet.
when in Thessaloniki, of course we can await you.
Yeah, I've never been to Thessaloniki. I need to go and see where my ancestors
Of
were.
course.
And,
This is
Σύντομα,
please put
σύντομα.
this on your
I
checklist
will.
now.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching. We will see each other in the next episode of Glossonauts Instagram Live. I'm trying to have an episode every Sunday. Also, I want you to know that this Friday is the International Day of the Greek language, and we're going to have a special Instagram Live on Instagram, 8:30 p.m. Greek time. So stay tuned for this live. It will be very interesting for those of you who want to celebrate with us the International Day of the Greek language. And see you soon. Τα λέμε σύντομα. Εις το επανειδήν.
Να είστε καλά. Yeah.
Bye. Τα λέμε.